All right, Miles Wiley Albright, Bible in a Bar, September 20th, 2021. We're calling these segments 10 Minutes with Miles, colon 2733 Revelation. This will be part 4 of, I don't know how many parts. This is a really large thing. If you can get your head around it, if you can get your heart around it, you can realize that God has really condescended to really show himself glorious in this revelation. I'm not exaggerating. I'll stand before the Lord and back that up. That is not. We'll give account for those words. This is glorious. All right. So the next thing I want to tell you is that when the 273:3 revelation originally happened, and he showed just the early parts, the Holy Spirit spoke to me, and I'm condensing this down. He spoke to me that I'm going to, after a period of time, I'm going to show you a piece of land. After a period of time, you'll buy it. After a period of time, some other things will happen, and then after a period of time, you'll travel in ministry. This was 95. Well, 7 years later, he began to speak to us, and he said, now I'm going to show you that piece of land. And so I had some people pray. In particular, a friend in Montana gave us a word. She said, I heard the Lord say mile 13. I don't know what it means, but mile 13. So we began to pray, and we had, I can't tell you all the details, but we had this prophetic experience, and we knew that the Lord had put literally his thumbprint on a piece of land that we had heard about through a vision my wife had. And so we went to meet this realtor, and just 2 miles up the road here at a Texaco station, which is the main artery, Highway 231, going through this part of the world. And the realtor said, hey, we didn't even know how big the piece of land was or anything, but we had this prophetic experience and knew to call him, and he would know. So we're going to follow him out there in our truck. And when we pulled off of Highway 231, going to what is now the 2733 Ranch, when we pulled out there, I says, okay, honey, my wife was with me. I said, I'm going to see if it's 13 miles to this place that we're going to, because mile 13. So I'm watching my odometer on my old F-150, blue and white Ford pickup. And sure enough, at mile 13, I'm overlooking the most beautiful landscape you ever saw. This ranch is surrounded in mountains and surrounded in rivers. It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. And at mile 13, you got this panoramic view. But because we're doing this deal, I'm watching that odometer because to check on mile 13. And when we get to we're following the realtor, he's in his car, we're in our truck. When he tells us to stop, we stop at the only building on the property at that point in time. And my odometer was on 133,273.3. Okay? To get that, 133,273.3. And I'm about to faint, because one thing he's told me, this place is 532 acres. And I believe in God and everything, but 532 acres? Not far from Huntsville? Whoa! I'm about to stagger. And so I say, okay, all right. The Holy Spirit says, don't say any more to the landowner. You just back off. You go home. I'll tell you when to buy it, because that was part of the original revelation. I'll show it to you, and then after a period of time, you'll buy it. Well, I went home waiting for the word of the Lord. And so in that meantime, while we're praying this 2.5 years before he said, go get it, on February the 16th, 2005, he said, go get it, go buy the land. But during that time period, I'm praying one morning, and he speaks to me and says, this is a 273 line, this is 274, that 273.30, 273 degrees, 30 minutes, goes through that property. Well, back then we didn't have GPS, or I didn't. And so we ordered maps, and guess what? It does that. It goes through that property, 27330. It's just like it's in the crosshairs. That property goes through that, and we're going, whoa. So a few months thereafter, he said, okay, today, go. He showed us, go, now go buy the property. Well, as it turned out, after we bought the property, moved out there, it was a row crop. It was in soybeans when we bought it, and we planted it in pasture and put fences around it and cows on it. Okay, cattle range. So we, I was asking the Lord, why did you make us wait? And there's a really sweet story in that, but I can't go into that, why he made it, all of why he made us wait. But one of the things was, get this, the Albrights, my ancestors, came to America from Germany in 1732. Well, guess what? We bought the ranch 273 years later in the third month. Whoa. Now, also, in this segment number 4, I want to show you this. And I hate the part where I'm talking about myself. But there's something called false humility that's just as bad as any kind of pride. But I had an encounter about this time. Actually, it was June the 30th, 1998. I was in a Tuesday morning prayer meeting, 6:30. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me in that prayer meeting. I was walking around with a staff in my hand. I remember that, praying. And he spoke to me and he says, your birthday, your wife's birthday, and your wedding day. And this is one for you ladies out there that are about romance and stuff, okay? I said, what? And he said, how old were you the day you got married? And I said, I don't know. Never thought about it. Well, I looked and I was 27 years, 7 months, 2 weeks, and 0 days old, okay? How old was your bride the day you got married? Well, I married her 2 days before her birthday. She was 26 years, 11 months, and 4 weeks, and 0 days. You know, marry them right around their birthday. That way you got only 1 day to remember, right? Anyway, no, that wasn't what was going on. That's just the hand of the Lord. So we got married on that day. And of course, when you get married, you become one flesh. So I like to say I became younger and she became older. About 3 months either way. I became about 3 months younger. She became 3 months older. Yeah, right. But if you become one flesh, your new age, so to speak, is the average between your 2 ages. So you add these 2 together and divide by 2. And the day we married, Cameron, can they see this? We were 27 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, and 0 days old, 2733. I defy anybody to show me anything more amazing than that, more impossible than that. That is crazy. So here you got a 2733 couple moving to 27330 longitude and latitude after 273 years in the third month since the Albrights got here. So that's time, place, and people. That is the 3 crosshairs of the will of God, in my opinion. Esther, that's an individual. For such a time as this, that's time. You've come to the kingdom. Person, place, and time. That's the 3 levels, 3 dimensions of the perfect will of God. And that happened to us after we bought that ranch, after waiting 7 years for him to begin to speak to us, get in the season to speak to us, you know. And so there we are. So we're out there at the end of the road on the Clouds Cove Ranch, and there's enough prophetic stuff for me to tell you to last for days and days and days of amazing. I'm not talking about torturing the data either. I'm not talking about trying to make something say something, but amazing things that have happened with regard to that land and us as a people called to be there. There's something, y'all don't just, you're exposed to so much information on the internet. It's amazing what you can learn just in minutes scrolling along on Facebook or on YouTube. It's just incredible. This, in a sense, is hidden in all of that. You've got to hunger and thirst to get past the plethora of data coming at you. This is not just something else. This is a God thing. And it's in the Bible a bunch. And it's in the land. It's in the time. Y'all, 0 degrees Kelvin, okay? God put it in, okay, 0 degrees longitude is freezing. 100 degrees centigrade or Celsius is boiling water, okay? But actually, if you start at absolute 0, well, just put it this way. 273 degrees below 0, freezing centigrade. That's absolute 0. That's as cold as it gets. That's as far down as it gets. The world without the church would be that kind of cold. It would be that kind of frozen, that kind of dead without the church. There are others in physics. Maybe I'll try to get into another one next time. Okay. Thank you very much.